Years earlier, when Sarah couldn't have children, she asked her servant Hagar to have a child with Abraham. Hagar gave birth to a boy named Ishmael. But now that Isaac had been born, things were different. Sarah saw Ishmael, Hagar's son, mocking Isaac. It created tension between Sarah and Hagar. Sarah turned to Abraham and demanded, "Get rid of that slave woman and her son. I don't want Ishmael to share in Isaac's inheritance." The situation was tense. Sarah asked Abraham to send Hagar and Ishmael away. Abraham was distressed, as he loved Ishmael, but God spoke to him. But God told Abraham, "Do not be upset over the boy and your servant. Do whatever Sarah tells you, for Isaac is the son through whom your descendants will be named. But I will also make a nation of the descendants of Hagar's son, Ishmael, because he is your son too. I will make him into a great nation too." With God's reassurance, Abraham made the painful decision to send Hagar and Ishmael away. The next morning, with heavy hearts, Abraham gave Hagar food and water for the journey and sent them away. Hagar wandered through the wilderness, lost and desperate. Soon, the water ran out, and she couldn't bear to watch her son suffer. She laid Ishmael under a bush and went to sit down by herself about 100 yards away, not wanting to see him die. She burst into tears, but God heard the boy crying. The angel of the Lord appeared to Hagar and said, "What's wrong? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy's crying as he lies there. Go to him and comfort him, for I will make a great nation from him." Then God opened Hagar's eyes and she saw a well full of water nearby. Hagar rushed to fill her water skin and gave Ishmael a drink. Hagar and Ishmael didn't just survive, they thrived. God was with them, and they began a new life in the wilderness. Ishmael became a skillful archer, and he settled in the wilderness of Paran. His mother arranged for him to marry a woman from the land of Egypt. From this story, we learn that even when people reject or abandon you, God sees you. Hagar was just a servant, not significant, no influence or prominence. But God did not mistreat her. God values each person He created not according to status in society, but because He is love. God will help and hear your cry even in your mistake. In this story, Ishmael was the one scoffing Isaac, but God still heard his cry. He even promised nations to come out of him. When we make errors in life, God is willing to help us. God can show up during tough and troubled times. We should not stop seeking Him.